Hi, my lovies. The story never ends. So, this is an old story and then our generational part to it, as I imagine. This is called Save and the Forest. So, come and sit beside the fire once more. Tonight, the stars are hidden behind soft drifting clouds, and somewhere just beyond the trees, an owl has begun its evening song. Tonight I want to tell you another of Ireland's ancient stories. A story of love, of loss, and of a woman who, for a time, forgot she was human. Long ago, before roads crossed the forest and before the woods of Ireland had begun to disappear, there lived a woman named Save. She was gentle and kind, and it was said that wherever she walked, birds would continue singing and frightened creatures would not run from her. But there was one who wished to possess her, a dark druid named Jurek. When Save refused him, his anger became a curse. With words carried upon the wind, he transformed her into a red deer. In a single heartbeat, her hands became delicate hooves. Her voice disappeared into silence. Her skin became a warm, russet coat. And before she even understood what had happened, she was running. She fled deep into the forests of Ireland, far away from people, far away from the places she had once called home. At first, she was frightened. Every snapping twig made her leap. Every unfamiliar sound sent her racing through the trees. The forest felt enormous, wild, unknown. But days became weeks, weeks became months, and months became years. Slowly, something remarkable happened. The forest stopped feeling strange. She learned which paths remained dry after heavy rain. She knew which streams stayed cool through the heat of summer. She discovered where the sweetest grasses grew. She recognized which birds sang before dawn. And she learned which silence meant peace and which silence meant danger. Without anyone teaching her, she remembered. She became part of the rhythm of the forest itself. She no longer hurried. She rose with the morning mist, rested beneath ancient oaks, drank from clear rivers, moved with the changing seasons. She wasn't mastering nature, she was belonging to it. One autumn afternoon, as golden leaves drifted softly through the woodland, another sound echoed between the trees, the distant bark of hunting hounds. The ground trembled beneath approaching footsteps. Fionn McColl and the Fianna were hunting. Yet when Fionn's two faithful hounds, Bran and Shullog, saw the deer, something extraordinary happened. They did not chase her. They quietly walked towards her. Their tails wagged gently. Their eyes were soft, as though they recognized an old friend. For sometimes, animals know things words cannot explain. Fionn watched in silence. He sensed there was something different about this deer, something hidden beneath the fur. He laid down his spear. He spoke gently, and in that moment, the ancient spell was broken. The deer disappeared. Standing before him was Save once more. And that is where the old story pauses. Or perhaps it's where our story quietly begins. Because I've often wondered about those years Save spent in the forest. Perhaps there weren't only years of loneliness. Perhaps they became years of learning. Imagine waking each morning to birdsong instead of alarm clocks, knowing the weather by the smell of the air, feeling the coming rain before the first cloud even appeared, learning where foxes walked, where badgers slept, where flowers returned each spring without ever being planted. Perhaps she discovered something we have almost forgotten, that nature has its own language, not spoken words, but with patterns, with rhythm, and with seasons, and with instinct. Maybe living as a deer didn't make Save less human. Maybe it reminded her what being human truly meant. Because we are not separate from the forest, we are part of it. And our ancestors knew this. Perhaps that's why so many of their stories are filled with animals that guide, trees that protect, and rivers that remember. Not because they believed nature was separate from us, but because they knew we belonged to it. And perhaps Bran and Sholog recognised Save because they weren't looking with their eyes alone. Animals often notice what we overlook, not through magic, but through senses, awareness, and deep connection with the world around them. Perhaps instinct is simply just another way of listening. Not listening with our ears, but with our whole being. I wonder if Save carried that gift with her for the rest of her life. Did she still pause to hear the robin before anyone else noticed? Or did she smell the rain before it arrived? Did she find comfort beneath the branches of ancient trees? Perhaps she did. And perhaps once the forest becomes part of your heart, it never truly leaves. And maybe this is the quiet gift this old story has carried through the centuries. Not simply to remember Save, but to remember that we too belong to the wild places. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine yourself gently through an ancient Irish woodland. The moon shines softly through the branches, and somewhere in the distance a red deer lifts her head and watches you without fear. The trees sway gently in the evening breeze. The forest asks nothing of you, only that you remember you've always been part of the story. Sleep well, my lovies. May the moon watch over you, may the stars guide your dreams, and may the whispers of the wild always help you find your way. Okay, thanks.